Mitchell, it's great to have you here in the studio, Produce Sound Studios. How does it feel to be back in Corpus Christi, sitting in downtown with us today? And after all your success with the Been Stangin Customs.
Oh man, it feels great to be home. Shout out to everybody who been along the journey with me, and just excited to come back. Take it back to where, I guess the roots all started for the journey on anything, whether it was culture or athletes, wanting to get anything done by me, whether it was music wise or, custom wise for shoes or gear. But I mean, it's been a great journey so far, and just coming back home to be able to present that in front of people at a live event and take care of some things in between here and there is it's awesome.
Already, bro. Yeah, and right off the bat, I want to credit the Ride and High podcast for our research on this episode, man. Go check it out if you haven't checked it out. There's a Mitchell Finesse here with Been Stangin Customs has an episode with them, so a lot of that backstory comes from that I got it from there. So it's great to have you. Still, let's see where we're going here. Let's start on the west side, Madrid and Greenwood. What was it like growing up in a Mexican household, adopted into a predominantly black neighborhood? How did that experience shape you?
Man, it's everything that I am today, bro. I mean, shout out to all my brothers. Just growing up there, it was awesome. Only for the fact that it was kind of a unique place to be growing up at that time. The early '90s, the mid '90s, late '90s. It was really just eye-opening, getting to see a lot and be a part of a lot of things. And then started my music journey with the Wood Boys there. That's where the Wood Boys originated. It was off of Greenwood and Madrid. And, shout out to my brothers because, without their guidance and what it is that how they shaped me to be, turned me into who I am today. So I'm grateful for them.
How was that experience, I guess, growing up and with the best of both worlds, I guess you could say?
Right.
How's that carried on to your cleat business now, or just your
Everything.
journey together?
Everything. I mean, just life in itself, being able to have the education behind everything, just knowing that you got a lot from, here and this type of, lifestyle and culture, whether it's, race or religion or whatever the case may be. But yeah, just having, my mom and being raised in a household where I can, when my grandma was alive at the time, the Spanish, growing up. And as a kid, you can't answer your grandparents without answering them in Spanish, or you're going to get,
Wow,
old school whooping.
Wow.
So, I think, having that, and then having my brothers, show me the ropes about, music and what it was like, back in the day. I was a big dancer back in the day too.
Oh, man.
Like hip hop dancing, choreography.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I used to do a bunch of stuff back in the day, and it dabbled from the dancing, choreography, going into actually, being some type of a rapper, MC on a mic, and then going into production, and then eventually, when I dived into this business that I'm doing now, I figured, the amount of money that I made in 1 year, doing this, my first year doing this business, 2 decades of music couldn't even come close.
Interesting.
And in addition to that, so the math was just easy for me.
Did you expect the music industry to have that type of like pay into it, you know what I mean? Or was
I just feel like everybody wants to take that path.
Mm.
I feel like majority, it's kind of saturated now. And it's nothing against artists who have a passion for wanting to do something like that.
Right.
I've just seen it from experience that, there's a lot of people that want to do it, and there's not a lot of people that customize. And what I do now,
Very true.
that there's so much work and we don't have enough employees. You've ever heard of that? You've ever heard of that at a company? Man, we got all this work, bro, but we ain't got enough bodies.
I ain't heard of it, but I can see it like in your line of business. It seems like there was a need and you kind of fulfilled that need, and now it's like, dude, there's customers when there's only, like, for instance, when I used to play music, I play guitar. Every time I go to the music store, look at the flyers, need bass player, need bass player, need bass player. Well, I'm like, shoot, I gotta learn how to play the bass in order to be in a band. So basically, you find a need, and then you got customers, you got money coming in.
I mean, just grateful for the opportunity. Everything lines up on its own, and when it's meant to be, it's gonna fall into place easily. Like, it was crazy because who thinks of, a start of success in something, right? So organic in the middle of COVID, not even the middle, in the spike of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And mine flourished. And while people were at home, going through depression and bankruptcy and stuff, you know, I was grateful that I was able to prevail and just kind of stay looking at the glass half full. Like, I can use social media to my advantage. If we're at home and everybody's just flipping through their phone, you might as well, right?
Right.
And my nephew gave me the opportunity. He was my first client. What's crazy is my biggest client, or shall I say my, the word, come on guys, y'all gotta help me out. The word is not like your biggest client, like he's your most important, but he is to me. Like, now people might not agree, like, oh, well, you did something for somebody who's bigger than him. It's not that. It's he's the one who gave me the opportunity for the platform he had to say, hey, give me these. And matter of fact, it wasn't even his idea. It was me and his uncle, my brother Maestro.
Right.
We talked about it. We were like, hey, we should do a pair for him before the Capital One Orange Bowl when he was playing at A&M.
Yeah,
He was only a sophomore. So we did it, and we shipped it out overnight to A&M.
Wow.
He got it the day before they got on the plane to Miami, and we didn't know if he was going to wear them.
And
or
let me
not.
understand.
And then he won,
And let me understand this. This is your first pair of cleats that
First
you
pair
made.
ever.
The first pair.
Ever. You want to know why? Because what I practiced on was, why am I going to go buy shoes to practice on? And you can even go buy shoes from Walmart, 20, 30 bucks, but I was buying poster board. I was going to the Dollar Tree.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, bro. Strokes and just, you know, shading and texture and just, you know, overlapping, stencil removal, application. Everything was done on stencil board, bro, to where in my mind I was like, oh, this is nothing, bro. It's just like the music. And if you ask me what helped, that is what helped. Being able to create a song from scratch and being able to do something like, you know, hearing how the song's going to sound before you've done anything, before, you know, they've made the beat, before I've written anything, before I've recorded anything, I know how it's going to sound. I could do the same with the shoes. So when I was doing it on poster board, I just told him we need to do it. He's like, you ready? You feel like you could do it? And I said, yeah. And it was on national fucking tele. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, dude.
National television. You know, it's crazy.
Wow. So he gave you that opportunity, which is his name is Anias, right?
Anias Smith.
He now plays for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So,
mind you, can I add something?
Go ahead.
Super Bowl champions.
Super Bowl champs, bro.
Come on, Super Bowl champions.
So I'm talking about
Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, hold up that helmet. He brought a helmet in for he made for Alex Martinez, the Skateboard Universal. There you go. Look at that.
Go Birds, baby.
All custom right there. All them custom.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Maya,
yeah.
you got some of them images. Can you put some images up?
Y'all see the 2 Lombardis and the Philly skyline on there.
Nice.
The number 1, you know. So yeah, it's just